Breaking news. Nnamdi Kanu refuses to enter his defense, withdraws the list of 23-man witnesses he earlier submitted, as he insists he has no case to answer. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 27th of October 2025, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has refused to enter his defense and subsequently withdrew the 23-man shortlist of witnesses that he submitted to Justice James Omotosho, as he equally insisted once again that he has no case to answer. So we are going to go through the news in details, and as you can see, I will be reading from one of the Zoom media platforms, Sahara Reporters, and according to their title, they said, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu declines to enter defense, insists no case against him. You can see the day 27th of October, this is today. Kanu, who had earlier filed a formal application to summon witnesses in his defense, told the court that the decision was no longer necessary since, in his words, no competent charges exist against him. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has withdrawn his earlier decision to call witnesses in his ongoing trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja, insisting that there are no legitimate charges against him. The development occurred on Monday during the court session where Kanu, who is standing trial on terrorism-related allegations, told Justice James Omotosho that after a careful review of the prosecution's case file, he concluded that the Nigerian government had failed to establish any valid charge to warrant a defense. Kanu, who had earlier filed a formal application to summon witnesses in his defense, told the court that the decision was no longer necessary since, in his words, no competent charge exists against him. The Biafran leader argued that he had been subjected to an unjust process and that the evidence tendered by the prosecution did not in any way prove the allegations brought against him by the Nigerian government. In response, Justice Omotosho advised Kanu to put his new position into writing and formally serve it on the prosecution team, noting that it was crucial for the court record. The judge further suggested that Kanu seeks legal advice from criminal law experts to fully understand the implications of his decision to forgo a defense. The court subsequently adjourned the matter to November 4th, 5th, and 6th to allow both the defense and the prosecution to file their final written addresses before judgment. Recall that Kanu earlier named former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Abubakar Malami, and several prominent Nigerians as witnesses in his ongoing terrorism trial. Okay, we shall see. Those also listed include the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, former Minister of Defense, General Theophilus Danjuma, retired, former Chief of Army Staff, General Tukur Buratai, retired, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma. Others named are Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, immediate past Governor of Abia State, Okezi Ikpeazu, former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, and former Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Yusuf Bichi. So, this very matter now has entered into a different level. You understand? Which, I'm going to say my own opinion here. Nnamdi Kanu knows it all better than me, especially in this very case. So, what I'm going to say now is my own opinion. First of all, we all know that Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. That is number one, which is exactly what he's standing on right now. Right? So, withdrawing the 23-man list that he has submitted to Justice James Omotosho would have been a slap on the faces of the Zoo government. You understand? Because people like Nyesom Wike, Dev Umai, Chukwu Boratai, the Lagos State Governor, Sanwo-Olu, I would have loved to see people like this, standing in the court, even though that they are so-called serving ministers and governors, apart from Buratai. I would have loved them to stand in the court to answer queries thrown at them by Nnamdi Kanu. Because I know that the level of their intellect, the level of their education, the level of their knowledge is very, very poor, that they cannot be able to stand the questions that will be thrown at them by Nnamdi Kanu himself. So I would have loved to see that very drama unfold. But albeit, Nnamdi Kanu knows it better than me. He has made a decision which is right because he has no case to answer. This is number 2. Then number 3 is that, my own opinion, I would have loved Nnamdi Kanu to ask Judge Omotosho. In fact, the case would have been not to try Nnamdi Kanu, or not even for Nnamdi Kanu to stand defense. You understand? The case would have been a trial on the Nigerian government and DSS, because Justice Omotosho would have conducted trial against the government, because the government has a lot of questions to answer. How Nnamdi Kanu appeared in the Zoo court. You understand? That would have been the main case. This case wouldn't be Nnamdi Kanu defending himself. It would have been the Zoo defending itself. Abubakar Malami would have been able to tell us how Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to Nigeria. Because that would have illegally opened the buttocks of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom government. It would have legally solidified all the allegations of crimes against humanity, human rights abuses, including sponsoring terrorism and kidnappings, which is what the Nigerian government is doing, and they know how to do it best. So I'm talking about my own opinion, but Nnamdi Kanu knows better. Maybe this is the best way to go about it, and I support him wholeheartedly, 100%, because in reality, truth be told, to cut the whole matter short, Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. Somebody who uses microphone and say, "Let my people go," has never committed any offense. No matter how you try to, fine-tune it, no matter how you try to turn the truth upside down, he has no case to answer. No case whatsoever. And when the DSS brought their own witnesses, they made it very clear to the whole world that when Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in 2015, they did not see any incriminating thing or any item that is against the law or contraband, in his possession. They made it very clear, it's on record. So any other thing they are talking about, microphone, all those things are not a crime. You can never imprison somebody for having a microphone. You understand? Or for speaking. These are realities. You can't imprison anybody for speaking in a democratic dispensation. It's not possible. You understand? So there is no case against Nnamdi Kanu. Maybe he knows that is the best way to go about it. I have no case to answer. So this is my own opinion that I just said, but what Nnamdi Kanu did is the best way to go about it, the best with the shortcut to end it all. I have no case to answer, and there's no need of defending anything, because if I do not have any case to answer, why should I defend myself? You understand? This is the best way to go about it. Thank you, my people. Tosalo Numozia, and make it go viral.
Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Section what? Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial is not done anywhere in the world. I'm having in my case.